Here's another big point for us. Being in God's will is the safe place to be. Yeah, absolutely. Now, verse 13. On that very day, Noah and his sons Shem, Ham, and Japheth, together with his wife and their wives, entered the ark. They had with them every wild animal according to its kind, livestock according to their kinds, and every creature that moves along around the ground according to its kind, and every bird according to its kind, everything with wings. Pairs of all creatures that have breath of life in them came to Noah and entered the ark. The animals going in were male and female of every living thing, as God had commanded Noah. Then the Lord shut him in. Wow. Noah did as God said, and get this, God did as God said. Notice all the way along in this story, Noah did what God said. God kept his side of the bargain. Notice again what happens when every animal is in. God closed the door. Salvation is always an act of God, not an action of man. God closed the door. He made them safe from judgment. He does it time and time and again. Look at the Passover. God provided a way for the people to be safe. If they had blood on the doorstops, they were safe. Even our own salvation, it's God's action. Jesus took our place. Absolutely. Here's the big point. Our salvation is up to God. Let him do it. It's amazing, isn't it, when we think of it like that? Genesis 8 and verse 1 says, "But God remembered Noah and all the wild animals and livestock that were with him in the ark. And he sent a wind over the earth, and the waters receded. Now the springs of the deep and the floodgates of the heavens had been closed, and the rain had stopped falling from the sky. The water receded steadily on the earth. At the end of 150 days, the water had gone down. And on the 17th day of the 7th month, the ark came to rest on Mount Ararat. The waters continued to recede until the 10th month. And on the first day of the 10th month, the tops of the mountains became visible." See, God remembered. God didn't leave them to their own devices in a boat. He cleansed the world, then remembered Noah, and they were there for a long time though. What was going on here? The smell. Who cleaned out after the animals here? What about food? Did they have enough? Obviously so, because it worked. God's plan worked for them. Yeah. We have another big point for us to remember here. Let God's plan work. Don't rush it. Don't change it. Let him work. Let him do his thing. It goes on in verse 6. After 40 days, Noah opened the window he had made in the ark and sent a raven, and it kept flying back and forth until the water had dried up from the earth. Then he sent out a dove to see if the water had receded from the surface of the ground. But the dove could find no place to set its feet because there was water all over the surface of the earth. So it returned to Noah in the ark. He reached out his hand and took the dove and brought it back to himself in the ark. He waited 7 more days and again sent out the dove from the ark. When the dove returned to him in the evening, there in its beak was a freshly plucked olive leaf. Then Noah knew that the water had receded from the earth. He waited 7 more days and sent the dove out again, but this time it did not return to him. Yeah, what a story, isn't it? And it is a cool story. Noah wants to know if there's dry land out there. So he sends the birds out to find. I suppose that's the kind of version he had of having a drone. But notice the last one, the bird came back with an olive leaf. So the plants had started to grow. God's providing an environment for them to live in when they came out. Plants for food had already started to produce fruit. That's mind-blowing. That's mind-blowing after such a deluge. Big point for us here. God will supply for us our needs when we need it. We can never forget that.